Hi and welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another podcast video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at the biggest headlines in crypto right now. We're going to dig into all the important stuff. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. And don't forget to jump in the Discord. It's absolutely free to join. Over 7,000 people supporting one another navigate this space safely. Right, let's get down to the desktop. Okay, so we're going to start here and look, we've got another exchange here. That is basically, suspending activities and is bankrupt. And it's a Bulgarian crypto lender rather than an exchange, excuse me, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, and it suspended activities after service provider declared insolvent. So this obviously is from the 24th of April, where they've basically highlighted their insolvency. So yeah, look, not great. Obviously, it no longer has the necessary regulations as a digital asset custodian. So that is kind of the rationale behind this one. Yeah, look, it's just not great. So 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 listed the quantities of different assets it had stored on coin alone, including 145.3 Bitcoin worth $4.2 million and 1,097.5 ETH worth 2.1 million, and then 501.1 BNB worth $166,000. So yeah, look, one to be aware of if you are on that platform. We've got this one here. So we've got Bitcoin could soar 268% to $100,000 as crypto winter is finally over, according to Standard Charter. And I'm really interested to get your views and opinions. Do you think that the market here is forward facing and has basically priced everything in and is now looking bullish, or are you more of the viewpoint that the macro looks terrible and we're being sold this dream that actually it's not as bad as everybody's articulating it and everything's going to start mooning soon? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Are you seeing a $100,000 Bitcoin in 2023? Or do you think it's going to be later and more towards the end of 2024? This is Standard Charter's opinion, saying by the end of 2024, we could have $100,000 BTC. And I think by 100,000 by the end of 2024 is a real possibility. But I think there's lower prices to be had between now and then. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on that in the comments below. We've got this one here, and rather interesting. This is basically I guess people saying that the SEC should basically withdraw from the activities and the enforcement action that they keep intending to utilize for cryptocurrency, and ease off the exchange and the Securities and Exchange Commission, if I can get my words out, has taken a hard line on digital assets. And one of their own commissioners has said that it's too far. And this is a really interesting article, so I am going to drop it in our Discord for you to read through at your leisure. Now, what I would say is, I'm very much of the opinion that, they have stepped over, several lines here. And I do think that actually they do need to step back. I think they need to go much further than that. I think there needs to be criminal investigations into what's actually going on with these regulators. It's all well and good, Gary Gensler putting out a video saying that basically, if you walk your dog and your dog isn't on a leash, and the rules are where the laws and rules are in that area that you have to have your dog on a leash, you can't get away and say that it's a goldfish. I mean, it's just nonsense. Like everybody knows what a dog is. A dog is a dog. But what is ETH? Is it a security? Is it a currency? Is it a commodity? What the fuck is it? Like Gary Gensler, you're contradicting yourself. You can't use these videos and say one thing is one thing when you're not being very clear on it. I don't really understand how you can use this metaphor as an example. And I've put a question underneath the video to ask whether this is his opinions or whether this is the opinions of the SEC, because you're flipping and flopping between your opinions here. One minute all of these things are legal according to what you're educating people in your classroom, but then you go to the SEC and all of a sudden everything's flipped and everything's a security. I find it rather interesting, particularly that people within the organization, the SEC, are clearly against the actions that are being taken here. I do think that there needs to be some sort of form of investigation into the people working at the SEC, the people in charge of the SEC, and possibly some criminal action, prison time and stuff like that for some of these individuals, because Gary Gensler putting out videos like this is really just a kick in the teeth to retail investors. And all investors, really. Even like the business owners of some of these projects, it is a kick in the teeth to them, because they're asking for clarity. And if it was as simple as something being a dog being a dog, then make it that clear that there is no way you could call it a goldfish in your own words. But you're not doing that, and that's the problem here. The problem is you're not giving the clarity, but you're making out that it's clear when it really isn't. And it doesn't seem clear from what you're saying either, because we've got footage of you saying that everything is legal and they're not securities, and then on the flip side you're taking everybody down to the cleaners trying to sue them. So it isn't clear. You can't call a spade unless it is a spade. And I think that the terminology and the videos that are being used are just a kick in the teeth. I really do believe that criminal investigations need to be made. Gary Gensler needs to resign. I've said this several times. The whole leadership team needs gutting out, and they need people in there that are going to be proactive, because there's so many failures that Gary and the team at the SEC have made, and it's cost millions and millions of dollars of investors' money. The likes of FTX, for example, the likes of Celsius, Voyager, all of these companies that failed under the watch of the SEC, whilst they say they protect investors. They were meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried, at least twice, according to the public records. But how many times in total did he actually meet with Sam Bankman-Fried? And what were those conversations like? And, what was on the cards? Because it looked very much like Sam Bankman-Fried was in bed with a lot of these politicians, a lot of these regulators. And, that goes to demonstrate how bad they are at their jobs. You are that bad that you've got a fraudster amongst yourselves and you're not regulating them. And it was clear that you weren't regulating them, because otherwise, if you were, we wouldn't be in these positions where companies have gone bankrupt. There would have been early warning signs. Nick and myself caught a few of them, and we highlighted to our community before anybody else was really putting anything out. And I get what BitBoy's saying, he alerted people. He didn't really alert people to Sam's exchange being an absolute fraud. He was just pissed off that Sam stole some of his content that he was trying to, push through, the government side of things over in the US. It was nothing to do with the exchange. We cottoned on to the fact that they were liquidating people way above everybody else, and highlighted that to our community and said, get the hell away, because this looks like it's going to collapse. And then it obviously started to do so. But, where were the SEC? If Nick and myself, a couple of YouTubers, can see that, an exchange is on the verge of bankruptcy and is about to collapse and is a complete fraud, how did the SEC miss that? And that is the question that stands out to me massively. if somebody's too worried to go and fire, you know, Gary Gensler, I will put my hand up right now. I am quite happy to be hired just to do that job, because I think, you know what, I take great pleasure in letting somebody like that leave that post. And, you know, I think that that needs to happen, and we need to have, you know, a proactive leadership team in the SEC that have put mitigation in place to make sure that, you know, crypto exchanges like FTX and various others that are operating have to give clarity, at least to the regulators, so they know that they're actually, you know, solvent. I think that is so important. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We've got Hong Kong SFC to issue crypto exchange license guidelines in May. Again, really bullish sign, giving clarity. It's what the US should do. Also, we've got UK charities offer guidance for accepting crypto donations. Again, this is just more adoption. I think, you know, charities accepting cryptocurrency is another step towards, you know, the goal of mainstream adoption. And I thought it was worth highlighting. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, mash up that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care.